Good evening and welcome to the September 28th, 2022 Council Finance Committee meeting. Please be advised that FATV is conducting an audio and video recording of this meeting for public broadcast. I ask anyone in the audience who is recording this meeting to please identify themselves for the record now by standing and stating their name and address. Seeing none, at this time I ask that all electronic devices be placed into silent mode. The public has been advised to contact the City Clerk's office regarding any comments of no more than 2 minutes. There have been no submitted comments, prepared comments submitted to the committee. I invite anyone in the audience who wishes to speak to please approach the podium, identify yourself by name and address, and identify the agenda item on which you would like to speak, and then you may speak on it for no more than 2 minutes. Seeing no one wishing to speak, we will now move on to our agenda. We also just wanted to make a note that committee members present this evening are myself, Councilor Di Natale, Councilors Cruz, Van Hazinga, and Boschman. We will start with 23922, in order that there being hereby is transferred from within the sum of $6,802 to be transferred from reserve for other municipal purposes, capital expenses, and credited to library expenses, building maintenance for the purpose of supplementing repair costs for the HVAC system. And I have a letter here from Deb Hinkle, Library Director, that states as follows. Dear Mayor Di Natale, as you know, the library building had unexpected HVAC issues this summer that were resolved through N&T Mechanical Contractors Incorporated. In January 2022, the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners awarded the library $25,000 for building improvements. Of that $25,000, there is currently $16,998.18 remaining. We plan to use these funds in the entirety for the majority of the project billing, which totals $23,800. I would like to request assistance and guidance in funding the remaining $6,801.82 of this unexpected emergency issue. And we have the library director here. If she has any further comment on that, if not, we'll open it up to the committee. Councilor Boschman.
I got a question. What is fixing the HVAC when you start building a new library over there, renovating? Are we going to put a brand new system in, or are they just going to use what we have?
Yes, that will be a brand new system.
Brand new system?
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
Councilor Cruz.
Are there any plans to recycle some of the new stuff we're purchasing?
Yeah, we will work hand in hand with Mary Delaney on recycling and deaccessioning anything we can to repurpose.
And the $23,800, that's a set limit. We're not going to come back and here we need a little bit more and something happened.
No, absolutely not. If I may.
Yeah.
When I was hired, I was instructed to keep the building running properly and running until our building project began. Over the summer, as you know, very high temperatures, our AC system did not last. These funds allowed the library to continue operating as a cooling center, which is one of the core values of a library. And without replenishing these funds, I fear that we will not be able to keep up with building maintenance throughout the rest of the year.
All set. Make a motion to accept.
Second. Motion made and seconded to accept 23922. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you so much, councilors.
Thank you.
24022, in order that the City of Fitchburg hereby approves the expenditure of funds from the National Association of County and City Health Officials grant in the approximate amount of $150,000 for the purpose of said grant, which is to address issues of vaccine equity. We have Director of Public Health Curry here before us.
Good evening, councilors. Very straightforward grant. It's a national grant, basically to address the drivers of vaccine hesitancy, not just with COVID, it is also flu vaccine. So we will take part in national meetings and strategize on how to increase vaccination rates in the city. with flu and COVID.
Counselor Boishman?
And how did we do on the first time around? When COVID came around, did we get a lot of people? No, yeah.
So I would estimate at the present time about 65% of folks in Fitchburg have had their first series of doses. The booster numbers go dramatically down. I would estimate that is probably around 30 or 35% in the city.
Okay. Make a motion, we accept.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to accept 24022. If there are no objections, I'll take this on unanimous consent. Seeing none, it's favorably recommended. Thank you, Mr. Gray. 24122, order that the City of Fitchburg hereby approves the expenditure of funds from the Massachusetts Executive Office of Public Safety and Security State 911 Department Training Grant in the approximate amount of $76,426.15 for the purpose of said grant, which is to train both fire and police dispatchers in medical and 911 emergencies procedures. Chief Martineau.
Thank you, Councilor. Good evening. These two orders you see before you this evening are reoccurring grants that we receive each year from the state 911 system. The first one before you is specifically for training whether they're emergency medical dispatchers or 911 dispatchers. The police department houses the emergency 911 dispatchers. In the fire department, they do the medical emergency dispatching part of it. Every certified dispatcher is required to attend certain hours of training each year. So we try to figure out how many dispatchers we're going to have, and we put in for a set amount of money to cover that training. Not only cover that training, but backfill overtime if we have to send that employee to training. So this $76,000 plus that will handle all of our training for fire and police dispatches for this coming year.
Councilor Boishman.
I had a question on the fire department. I thought the firemen all had to be EMT anyway from now on, don't they, Mr. Chair?
I can speak somewhat to that question. The firefighters that we're speaking of, this is emergency medical dispatch, not EMT. That's a classification for responding to medical needs. Emergency medical dispatch is something significantly different. If a 911 call comes into the police station and it's a medical call or a medical response, the police department is the primary call center, and when we identify it as a medical response, that goes directly to the fire department. They have personnel that pick up the phone. Those personnel are titled emergency medical dispatches. That's a different level of training that they have to go through, and that's what this training funds go exactly towards. The exact number that Chief Suarez has that sends for emergency medical dispatches, I don't have that, but I can say we went through our total numbers, and the $76,000 will pay for that training and the backfill of that training.
All right, I got no
To
problem.
answer your question, I'm 99% sure that firefighters have to have an EMT certification.
You'd be 100% sure.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not an expert.
Yeah,
I can speak to emergency medical dispatching, but
All right.
Make a motion to approve 24122?
Second?
a motion made and seconded to approve 24122. If there are no objections, I'll take this on unanimous consent. Seeing none, passes. 24222, in order that the City of Fitchburg hereby approves the expenditure of funds from the Massachusetts Executive Office of Public Safety and Security State 911 Department grant in the approximate amount of $174,594 for the purpose of said grant, which is to support salaries and provide repair and enhancement to the E911 service system in the police department. Chief Martineau.
thank you. This is the big one that comes out of the EOPS, especially the 911 grant department. We rely on this money each and every year to supplement our budget as it pertains to our emergency dispatch center. That $174,000, that number is allocated based on your community's calls to service. Actually, how many calls are coming into our dispatch center on a yearly basis, and they come up with a figure of what type of funding will go back to your community. We've been at this number 175 for about 3 or 4 years now. It used to be in that 138 range, but it increased a few years ago up to this 174. And we take that $174,000. We do have different options how we can use it. We feel it's the best interest to use that money to supplement salaries for dispatchers, and that's a significant savings in that part of our budget where we can take that $174,000 and supplement the salary for dispatchers.
Council Brochman.
So we don't use none of that money to enhance the 911 calls, make them better, make the phone service better and everything?
We're constantly getting upgrades from 911. That doesn't cost money. That comes from 911 itself.
That comes from 911 itself?
Yes, so there's constant upgrades to the system. When there's mention in here of equipment, this is if we replace equipment at the police department. And we've been finding other avenues to replace equipment. As you're well aware, I'm trying to do a project at the police department. Some of it is enhanced in the 911 center. But this $174,000, the majority of that money will be spent on salaries,
Wages?
wages.
So we can anticipate a big cut over there in the police department when it comes to wages, right, on the budget time?
This has been in the budget for 2 decades, where we supplement 911 with this money.
I have to remember that. Okay, I make a motion, we accept it. You have any questions?
Second?
Motion made and seconded to accept 24222. If there are no objections, I'll take this under unanimous consent. Seeing none,
Make a motion,
it
we
passes.
adjourn.
Thank you.
Motion has been made and seconded to
Steve.
adjourn.
Thank
There are
you,
no
Chief.
objections, we are adjourned. Thank you.